Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Your Analyst. Here in this short video, we'll be talking about creating a table on Mysql workbench. This video is going to be extremely useful, especially for people who know how to work on Excel, but they have no knowledge or very little knowledge of working on SQL databases. So let's start. Let's start with the problem statement. So the problem statement that we have is to create a sample table called legends and insert data into that table, right? So let's look at what this table is. We have this table legends. This is a sample table that I have created. These are basically a bunch of people who are particularly legends in our current era. We have John Cena, we have Bill Gates, we have Mark Zuckerberg, and so on. So in order to create a table, there is a very important concept of data types. We need to understand what the data type for all these columns in this particular table are. So let's start with the legend ID. Legend ID is basically a serial number assigned to all these rows, and this is basically an integer. Legend name. Legend name is basically a group of characters, and in terms of SQL, we call that as varchar. Varchar is a short form for variable character. And age. Age is basically in years, and it's a number, and it can be called as integer. So this data type is integer as well. So let's now go straight to MySQL workbench and start working. So on the SQL workbench, this is this is this this is a format. There's a format in which we can create a table. So in order to do that, we have to write create table, name of the table, which is legends, and then add all these three columns, that is legend ID, and assign the data type for that particular column as well. So we have legend ID, which is integer, legend name, which is a variable character. We have just assigned the size for that variable character as 255, and age, which is an integer as well. A thing to note here is that in SQL, it doesn't matter whether you are using capital letters or small letters, anything is fine. So this is the sample code that we need to run in order to create a table. So let's see how it works. We'll select this particular line of code and click on run. When we do that, we see the action output, which is create table has been successful, 0 rows have an effect on the type that has been taken. So let's see if this table has been created or not. So to do that, let's run a small query, which is select star from legends, and we'll see if this table has been created. So when we do that, we see that yes, we get an output. The output is the three columns are there: legend ID, legend name, and age, but there is no data in it because we have not inserted any data yet, right? So now let's go and insert the data. To insert data into this table, there is a specific format that we need to follow, which is insert into legends, which is the table name, and we need to specify the columns, that is the legend ID, legend name, and age, and we need to add the values for them. To make things simple, let's go straight to Excel. Here I've hidden a column, which is column E. There's a formula that we can use, that is concatenating all these three particular columns. And when we do that, we create a format which is understandable for SQL. So we'll create all these rows in this particular format. We'll copy this and paste it here. We'll remove the last comma because we do not have any other values after it, and we can either leave it at that, or we can just add an inverted comma here. So now we have the data in this particular format, and we just need to run these lines of code. So let's do that and see whether we are able to insert data into our table or not. So when we run this code, we see that we get a message, an action output, that this particular table has been created. There are 8 rows that have been affected, and these have been added here. So that's fine. Now let's see what is the output in this table. So we'll again write select star from legends and we'll run this query. When we do that, we see that our we have a file here. Sorry, we get the output that there are 8 rows. There is legend ID, legend name, and age, and all these rows have been generated. And this is same data what we had here in this particular table. So we have been successful in creating this table and inserting data. So we have been successful in our first mission statement. That's great. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of this video. Although in case you want to look at these queries, I'll just add them in the description of the video. That's yeah, that's fine. Okay, see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.